Celeste is a 2D side-scrolling platformer that tells the tale of one girl's attempt to scale a mountain. However, as you help guide her towards the peak, you'll discover that this game is more than just your average platformer, and that this is about much more than just a mountain. When we first meet our hero Madeline, she's setting off from the base of Celeste Mountain. She's unsure, nervous, and maybe a little unprepared for the task ahead. After running into a strange old woman who warns her about the mysterious mountain, Madeline chooses to ignore her and charges off anyway, almost to her doom. Straight away, this gives us an idea of what kind of character Madeline is, and it conveniently introduces us to her unique ability to jump dash, which combined with her wall grab are all the tools you'll need to help get her where she needs to go. In most cases, it's simply from one screen to the next, as you help her traverse tricky platforming sections, avoiding pitfalls and obstacles. Sounds simple, right? Well, guess again. And again, and again, and again, and again, because that's how often you'll be trying to clear these screens. See, Celeste is less about telling you where to go than it is about letting you discover your way there, by failing, over and over again. The good news is, retrying is quick and painless, and because you're only sent back to the start of each screen, you just end up feeling more determined with each fail. The more I failed, the more I felt myself getting better at timing my jumps, spotting the best route, and narrowly dodging hazards. And early on I thought, yeah, this is fun, we can get to the top of the mountain in no time. Then things got a bit odd. Madeline bumps into another traveller who's curiously upbeat and chatty. She stumbles into an old hotel run by a nervous caretaker who's a bit, spectral. She even begins to talk to herself, literally. Now, I don't want to say any more and spoil it all, because what does eventually unfold is a lovely, surprising story about what it's like to overcome challenges, and how we often feel when we're faced with tough situations. And while Madeline's problems are quite personal, dealing with things like sadness and frustration, as the player, we're experiencing something similar with each stage. Failing, trying again, failing again, putting the game down before coming back with a clear head, beating a level. Yes, maybe I can do this. It's the kind of thing that had me pushing on even through the toughest stages, and not so I could just say I'd finished the game, but because I wanted to get Madeline to the top of this mountain. I wanted to conquer this challenge together, and what a challenge it turns out to be. As stages become tougher, new features are also added that put a twist on Madeline's moves. Gems allow you to recharge your dash mid-jump. Some blocks propel you forward, while others only move when you do. And they're each introduced in clever ways that teach you as you play. And while some screens may seem impossible at first glance, where there's a will, there's a way. Or sometimes you just fluke it. If, however, you're after some extra challenge, there are optional collectibles in the form of strawberries. They don't serve much of a purpose other than extending playtime, as do the hidden B-side cassettes that unlock trickier versions of each stage. But it is nice to see more here than just the main storyline for those willing to explore deeper. In fact, it feels like this whole game was designed around that particular feeling of what it's like to really be challenged by a game. Some levels are built to be sped through, while others require a puzzling amount of backtracking, and the art style ranges from dark and moody to floaty and dreamlike. It's all perfectly suited to its retro graphics and chiptune soundtrack. For some of you out there, Celeste might appear a little too difficult, or maybe the idea of failing again and again doesn't really appeal to you. I know I certainly reached points that I thought I'd put it down and never come back to it. And then I'd think of Madeline, of her fear of failing, of giving up, of not achieving what she set out to do, while all I have to do is get her to the next screen, and the one after that, and eventually I'd get her to the top. We'd get to the top of Celeste Mountain. It's so rare for story and gameplay to complement each other so well. Celeste is a wonderfully rewarding platformer that sets out not just to teach you to be a better gamer, but maybe to be a better person too. And that's why I'm giving it 5 out of 5 rubber chickens. I'm never climbing a real mountain though. Ugh, freezing.